This is my video interpretation for assessment of client number 1. So looking at our body portion, we have no access to in-body, so measurements, US Navy method to get body fat percentage, skeletal muscle mass, we got that, we got our BMR calories and trying to use that to work out what we need to be eating. This client, after going through that data and calculations, does need to drop body fat percentage, but again, with the goals for this client, it's not the main focus straight away, to not put too much pressure. So we want to have priorities that are based around building habit, going to the gym weekly, and working on our body image, including more resistance training. In the past, you would have had a lot more cardio-based sessions, too much high intensity. So what we're going to focus on is just including resistance training, full body resistance sessions for our Monday, Wednesday, Friday, to keep a day between to recover, and include, all the priorities that are going to be listed with the move assessment. So what we're going to do is just begin with nutrition quality and other priorities that I'll go through with the basic lifestyle guidelines that we've taken there as well. So that is our body assessment. Moving on then to the move with the scratch test to begin. It was a fail. We had head nodding forward to the side on both sides, clear lack of shoulder mobility in the overhead, the underreach poor on both sides, right side mainly, so tightness we think on the front there as well. So our main priority here is definitely a big emphasis on upper body mobility, to include some of the exercises like our wall angels, rotations, external rotations, prone lifts, things like that, for some mobility and strength, but also stretching as well, and in the warm-up of our workouts, including some of that, opening up the shoulders and the upper back. We're going to work on single arm push variations, definitely for the first cycle before we think about moving on to vertical, and see how we're going there, and just time under tension with our push exercise then. With the squat, we have a fail. Has never squatted to full depth, I think, in the lifetime, she told me, so it's going to be an issue. I think it's overall mobility issue. Has pain in the knees after high volume squatting, like probably no control at all, no body awareness, so we're going to have to slow everything down. It looks quite uncomfortable and not confident in the squat movement, so once a week we will include time under tension, assisted squat in some way, and then kind of moving on to time under tension, very very slow tempo to a box, unweighted, and working on building it up from there, trying to get more range of motion into the squat without having to worry about being unassisted and without the box. So we want to have an RNT exercise as well for motor control and strength, so that'll be once a week, and we'll try and progress that on week to week with either range of motion or reps, or the tempo changing, and then maybe adding a bit of load. Also throwing in flat foot sled push to give some leg work, some glute bridge, hip thrusts, things like that, like to get the legs as well. On the toe touch, we got a pass, so that's okay. Lunge, I gave a pass. We're going to keep an eye on it though and be safe, because there was a little wobble on 1 or 2 rep. I think it's just more down to awareness. There's no knee caving and the full depth was hit, so it's safe enough to do lunging in our program. We're going to keep the load quite low to begin, time under tension, slow tempo on the negative, for sure, just to build up that awareness and that motor control, and progress the load then and the complexity of the lunge pattern as the cycles continue, and as we see her getting stronger in the movement and being more confident. With the straight leg raise, we got a pass, that's okay. Any kind of bending exercises should be good to go. Always we'll kind of start off again with lighter loads with the RDLs and any kind of stiff leg bends. With the front plank, we've got a pass over 60 seconds. Reverse plank, weak enough, 34 seconds, so we got a fail there. Obviously, the main points of posterior chain and shoulder endurance, letting her down. So building up that strength with all the backside of the body exercises, hamstring, glute focused, and then the carries of all different kinds, single arm and double. Side planks, both fails, weak and very weak. We got 34 seconds and 28 seconds, so just about 33% of the time we're looking for. So for sure, more emphasis on the single arm carry and those side plank exercises, beginning with the basic on the knee, with the side plank, and trying to progress it from there time-wise, and then with the more complex versions going forward. So taking into account all those priorities, we're going to include in the full body resistance sessions, trying to keep them to 60 minutes. She does have a lot of access to good gym equipment and a good range of equipment. So we want to work on the full body resistance so she doesn't get bored. Has a history of kind of wanting to do all the high intensity exercise and something different every day. So trying to keep the exercises varied on the day to day, but keeping the same week to week, then that we can see some progression and keep control of the exercise we're doing. And the 2 days off, then there will be for sure a MAP 10 a walk, because we have 63 calories moving on to the work assessment. 63 calories, it's poor enough in terms of the power output for her body weight, so we will slowly build it. MAP 10 pace walking, likes to get out walking, walks the dogs, so it will tie in well there to get that sunshine as well. Does like to do that bit of mixed modal training as well, or even a cyclical machines, cardio machines. So for the other day off, like on the Thursday, we might include like a 30-minute workout, but at a MAP 10 pace, so that we'll be able to do like rowing, maybe some step ups, front plank, dead hangs, things like that we'll include, so that she can keep moving at that sustained pace. That's it then for the work. And just in terms of the behaviour nutrition, tying into the BLGs in with those move and work assessments and body. To start off with, we'll go with a couple of lifestyle guidelines. Just protein, judging off the MyFitnessPal, very, very low. Does like to track this client likes to track just to see what kind of calories she's hitting, but we'd like to put more emphasis on protein first of all. So protein target to hit for sure, starting off not too kind of overwhelming, because it is very, very low, and we'll look to try and see if we can keep progressing a little bit every couple of weeks if she's doing well. Giving her some advice as well on including different kind of protein sources into snacks as well throughout the day, so that we can get that target up. And then kind of the priority that stood out to me was the food hygiene. Very, very quick, busy lady, busy client, so always on the computer, always on the phone, with work calls and conference calls, and barely gets away from the desk to kind of have a meal or snack. So it's very quick with them usually, and doesn't give any time to slow down and chew the food. So we'll be looking to take at least kind of 10-15 minutes for the meal and snack during the day, for that lunch and snack, without distractions. So you can sit down, be mindful with counting the chews as well, putting down the fork, and making sure that we're improving digestion and energy with this practice. Moving on then, we get these things dialed in for the first couple of weeks. Hydration is quite good, so we need to focus on that. We get the protein dialed in, we get slow down the eating, and then we'll look to up the carbs, because they're quite low too, and just in general calories, to improve energy as well for her training, and making sure that we're having at least one serving of carbs at every meal, because some of them are without. Did keto ketogenic diets in the past, so there's a bit of a habit of only kind of opting for a protein source and vegetables in some meals. So we'll be looking to add in one carb source, and hopefully that will, it'll bump up the calories as well total, and just give us a more well-balanced meals. And you know, the produce was quite good, fresh produce, we don't need to look at that yet. Nutrition quality is quite good, just probably not eating enough, as many people don't. So that is everything there for client 1.